Tony Salina. I am the purchasing manager for the event division here at DV Flora, as well as the purchasing manager for our Japanese flowers. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about some trips I've made to Japan and discovering a lot of the unique flowers from Japan. So in Japan there are many small growers, over 3,000 small growers in the country. Most of the growers are associated with a growers association. So what the growers do, they're small family growers, and they bring their products to the grower association. Products are then sent to the auctions. The auction that we purchase from is the Nano Flower auction, the second largest auction in Japan. So I visited there as well. The auction is quite unique in the sense that inside the auction is the wholesalers. So it's an area that I love to explore there because there's about 9 different wholesalers at the auction and all the product is out on display. So each time I go there, I find new flowers. So I thought I knew what most flowers were in the world till I visited Japan and realized how many different varieties and different types of flowers and unique flowers that there are, as the growers in Japan are also breeding their own flowers. One of the rose growers that I visited was Okumatsu Hayoga. This grower has about 9 varieties that he has bred himself without a breeder. We bring in several of those items to offer our customers, one of which is in the arrangement behind me. It's a spray rose. It's a spray rose white wedding dress. It's pretty unique. It's a single petal, opens up into a star shape, very unique. And we have 3 different varieties that are from this grower that we carry on a weekly basis. Very unique, quite expensive, but there's reasons why it's expensive. And I'll go back to the growers associations. So the grower first has to bring it to the association. The association then trucks it to the different auctions. The auction will then truck it to Tokyo, and then it has to fly from Tokyo to New York City, where we recover it and bring it down to here. Or one of the other reasons that the flowers are expensive is because of the labor put into them. In all the regions that I've visited, I would say that Japan is a very unique growing region. The growers are small, however, it's their techniques and the labor that they put into producing their flowers. A great example of this would be the Gloriosa. So as I'm walking through a Gloriosa greenhouse, I see them cutting off the blooms, and it's that those flowers would be what we would typically get from Holland in little bags, and here they're just discarding them and throwing them away. But they're throwing them away to get the flowers to produce taller and more buds per stem. So one of those things, it's just all about the labor that they put into the flowers to make them very special. It also costs money to do that. So one thing I wanted to do was just point out a few things in our beautiful arrangement that's behind us. This wild and crazy guy here is an allium. It's called Blue Snakeball. Comes in a 10-stem bunch, kind of all just crazy. Every stem is a little bit different, so 2 of them, there won't be any 2 stems that quite match. There's a beautiful Charlotte Ranunculus here. Another ranunculus, one of my favorites that I found on my last trip, is this burgundy here. Phenomenal burgundy, best one that I've seen out in the market by far. A gorgeous new red garden rose that we're carrying, Hanabi. It's called Red Hanabi. This here is the Lindura citriodora. And these little guys here actually open into beautiful white little flowers when it actually opens up. Carno ranunculus, light pink or blush pink. And our purple anemones here. Venado is the variety. Great color. Several different types of spirea. There's a more straight up spirea here, and then the hanging spirea here. The white wedding dress that I touched on earlier in the presentation is back here. These open up like star shapes. Pretty amazing. Very, very unique. And what's the last one we have here? Oh, well, how can we forget sweet peas? One of my favorite flowers, probably one of the most brought in flowers that we have from Japan, and this is called Sikibu. It's a two-tone purple and lavender. So with Diviflora being one of the largest importers in the United States, it goes hand in hand with our Japanese product line as well. We are also one of the nation's largest providers of Japanese flowers to the U.S. market. We have over 50 varieties of sweet peas on hand for our customers, and ranunculus, just about anything you want we can get. The varieties are unlimited. Overall, sweet peas, I believe there are about 230 varieties now from Japan. A lot of very similar colors. We couldn't possibly stock every single one, but we could get you any variety that they do offer. So let's talk a little bit about the seasonality of some of the flowers. Some of the greens are available year-round. The crispy wave foliage is a great example of that. The Smilex, I can tell you, the Smilex from Japan is the nicest Smilex by far that we've carried from anywhere in U.S. grown, anywhere you could think of. It's just much, much better. It's 5 feet long, five strings per bag. It's a phenomenal product. Lysianthus, I don't know how I could even forget that flower. This stuff, we sell it in a 5-stem bunch. A 5-stem bunch of this is bigger than any 10-stem bunch from California, from Holland, wherever you want to think of. The blooms are just enormous, and that is a year-round flower for us. Scabiosa season is also just about year-round. Main season is now as well. Cymbidiums from Japan. I didn't mention the Japanese cymbidiums on my last trip. I visited 3 different cymbidium growers. Very, very unique varieties coming out of Japan now. So we're stocking those on a weekly basis, trying different varieties to see what our customers do like. They're quite different than what we get out of Holland and New Zealand. The blooms are typically a little bit smaller but more unique and compact, so there's a lot of blooms per stem. Roses and spray roses. The best season for that is the fall, winter, and spring. Once we hit the hot summer weather, the heads get smaller, so it's not the best time. Could experience some quality problems during that time. So I would suggest now is the time for the roses as well. Okay, so that's all I have for today on this presentation. If there's any questions that you have regarding any of the information discussed today or any of the products shown, please contact your DV sales rep, and they will certainly get back to you with an answer to any question you might have. Again, thank you.